Night Shift Podcast.
Jessica Moorhouse is here. Everything But Money is the book. And our conversation is somebody save me from my emotional baggage that is making money decisions. Jessica, hey.
Hi. What's going on?
Man. Well, no, I just, I've been in my apartment now for over a year, and it's time to start looking for a life and build a house. And, I'm 50 now, so I like to spend more time paying attention to the money things and going, oh, okay, what's next? What do the next 5 years look like and all these things? And I keep running into this one place. And the one place is, oh, man, I get tangled up in being scared of it. And what do I do? It's been a long time since I bought a house. When I got divorced, we owned a house. I have not owned a house since then, and I've sold all of the property since that point. So it has been 18 years since I purchased a house. And I'm realizing, I remember it being an easy process, as long as you have your paperwork.
Yeah.
It's not, though.
It's not. Oh,
And
no?
it's in my head, it's even worse. Save me.
How's it? Well, you have a realtor, right?
Oh, yeah, that's
And there's a real estate
they're
lawyer?
comfortable with this process.
Okay. What's the problem? Because
Well,
I don't feel like I've bought this place that I've been in almost 4 years ago, and then we had a townhouse before that.
Yeah.
And I felt like the process pretty seamless. So tell me what's going
Well,
on.
it's the surprises. By the way, you could have an appraisal. Here's an extra $400. And by the way, there's the lawyer could cost anywhere between $1,100 and $2,000. And it's
Right.
like, yeah, but it's not like I have $900 lying around in this process. Houses
Oh.
are expensive today. And so anyway, I'm in my own way is the point.
Well, yeah, but here is the thing, and I always tell this for anyone who is searching for a home, no matter what kind of home, it is going to cost you more than you expect. Because I think often when you're looking at information on like, okay, what should I know as a first time buyer, or it's been a while and I'm buying a place after a while, they always mainly just talk about mortgage affordability and maybe expect property taxes and maybe land transfer tax, things like that. But there is a lot of other expenses that come in, so you do need to have some extra buffer for those. Oh, this was more expensive than I thought, or oh, here's an unexpected expense I didn't think, like movers, for example. Like just hiring movers can be vastly different costs depending on where you're moving to and all this kind of stuff. So unfortunately, my advice for anyone would be to have factor in some extra budget for those kinds of expenses. And then not even just that, once you do find the place and you're moved in, you're not done there, because you're going to like, oh, well, we need to change the carpets because they're disgusting from the last owners. We have to paint because there's scuffs everywhere. There's always going to be something. Especially I'd say that first year is a very expensive first year. And then it gets better. But I just remember moving into this place and we were at Home Depot, I swear, every weekend. I can't even remember why. But we were there spending so much money on things that I guess made sense now. But if you told me where'd that money go? I don't remember.
Yeah, well, but that's the thing. We say that, okay, 5% down, you're going to buy an apartment. It's a $300,000 apartment. That's, going to be $15,000 down. Well, that $15,000 down does not include, well, drawing from RSP is a great example. It does not include a deposit. What is your deposit? And if you put a deposit down and something goes wrong and you've drawn on your RSPs, I'm assuming that you have to pay that money back to your RSPs. But it also counts as your first time use of it. So
yeah, so you're talking about the first time home buyers
first time home buyer
specifically.
program.
Yeah, not just like taking money out of your RSP, which I would tell people not to
Don't do that.
Only
Yeah.
do it through the home buyers plan. But even now, my new kind of thing is if you are especially a first time home buyer, and again, that doesn't mean you've never bought a home. It just means you fit the
What's like me
guidelines. So it's basically you haven't owned a property, and I'm going to probably get this completely wrong, but basically 4 years or 5 years.
Yeah.
So I'd say definitely review the eligibility rules for being a first-time home buyer through the CRA's eyes on the CRA's website to get more familiar with what that means. So you are likely a first-time home buyer because you haven't. Well, actually, it's probably not been 4 years.
it's been
Has it been 4 years?
a long time.
Okay. So you're likely since you haven't been a homeowner. So, anyways, but another option if RSPs, maybe you don't want to touch them for whatever reason, or again, they're illiquid. Maybe you're like, well, I actually only have a pension and a group RSP through my work, so I can't actually access the first time home buyers plan through those accounts. The FHSA is a great vehicle. Again, only makes sense if you, have FHSA hasn't been around for a long time, but that's a great if you're just starting to save up some money and you're wondering, should I put it in my TFSA or should I open up an FHSA? An FHSA is a great vehicle, honestly. I mean, obviously, I wish when the government announced it that they did more for housing affordability, but we'll take what we can get, I guess. But it is a great account that I think not a lot of people are taking advantage of or even know much about. I feel like RSPs still are kind of the go-to vehicle that people talk about with the first-time home buyers plan.
Yeah. So there's a lot there. The catch is that you don't really know. And what I worry as a first-time home buyer again is that I take that money out. I'm not shopping for a house.
Yeah.
I found a house.
Yeah.
And so it's not like I'm super eager just to buy something. And I don't want to lose the opportunity with that 5% down and the extra insurance and all the things that come with that. To just blow it on, oh, nuts, took the money out. Now I've got to buy something. And so these are the things that they get people scared, right? These surprises. How do we manage the fear of the surprises? Because it's easy for you to say, by the way, just have a buffer. Well, some of us are desperately trying to get there without the buffer.
Yeah, I wouldn't say, well, it kind of explained it really well is that you don't want to rush into something just because you're like, well, I have the cash. I've already made like the withdrawal and the cash is there. And so I feel like I need to do something. But, this is the most expensive purchase likely of your life. And especially it's going to be a property that you live in. It's going to be your new home. So you do actually want to take your time if you can. And part of that means making sure that you don't get into extra debt because you didn't factor in, all these extra costs and fees that are going to pop up. And so, you're already going to be in debt with that mortgage. Do you also want to get into line of credit debt or credit card debt just because you didn't take the extra time and reorganize your budget so you can start putting some money into savings for those aspects? So I would honestly tell everybody, especially I think in this real estate market, it's not as crazy hot as it was maybe a few years ago. Thank goodness. It's a little bit, there's, you can apparently buy homes with contingencies now. That was unheard of back in like 2021. And so I would really warn people about, taking the time, especially to organizing all of the financial aspects, having a little spreadsheet to keep track of things before you even set foot in your first, open house or anything like that. So you feel like, okay, I've got my ducks in a row. But I know a lot of people just want to do the fun part, which is like, let's start looking for houses or let's go online and see what's available before really considering the financial aspects. Because this isn't just you buying a house, a home. It is a big financial decision. So you want to make sure you're prepared for all of the things that come with it.
Yeah, it's amazing. And I get, again, I've been reset into the notions, like the real life experience of, oh, wow, this is hard. And it's hard to sort it out. And emotionally, these things get in our way. Now, I use the house as an example, but to the point of your book, these emotional things get in the way of all things, including saving money and believing that you deserve that trip. And by the way, put the money away and invest it here. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the emotions, just a personal example. So emotions can really run high, especially when you're house hunting, because it's a big thing. And then you're already, every time you're seeing a house, you start picturing yourself and your new life in this place, whether it's a house, condo, whatever. You start picturing this new life and you want to kind of get started probably as soon as possible because likely you want to move because you're maybe not happy with where you're at. And so you start to kind of fantasize about what this new life is. And really what that means is you're putting your emotions at the forefront instead of maybe logic. Logic is kind of like, yeah, we'll figure out. Oh yeah, this place obviously needs a lot of work. Oh, we'll figure that out later. And I say this from personal experience because me and my husband, when we were desperate to move out of our townhouse, we had really noisy neighbors above us. Both of us worked from home. It was chaotic. I could barely sleep. And we were like, we got to get out of here. And I realized, I'm like, we are putting our emotions right at the forefront and we are going to make a big, bad decision if we don't check ourselves and keep ourselves accountable. So, really. Yeah, you gotta have someone in your corner is like, okay, and that really should be like your realtor, maybe your mortgage broker, maybe your realtor, whoever is on your team, financial planner, if you have one, lean on them, because they can really offer you that guidance. And I think that, just help you emotionally regulate again, because
very good.
Yeah.
Very good. I did. I went to my buddy Fred, said, what do you see here? And he gave me a lot of reasons why it was good, a lot of reasons why it was bad. JessicaMoorhouse.com. If you want to get the website, Everything But Money is the book. Give it a Google. You will find her, Shane Hewitt, and The Night Shift. Thanks, Jess.
Thanks.